there's a lot of missed potential in this technique, a wrist grab. It's not wrong, but it's also not right.
Wrist lock, okay.
Yeah.
With the elbow down.
Yep. There's a lot more that he can do that's better here.
Okay.
Let's do it. All right, so like I said, this technique is not wrong, but it's not completely right. And there is a lot of missed potential to make this a really strong joint locking technique. Now, this is a really common self-defense technique that's taught in many different schools and styles. So if you're doing martial arts, you may already recognize a lot of the errors that are going on here and what you can do to make this better. But we're gonna go through it anyway, just in case you don't see them. Okay, now, the situation is pretty simple. He's grabbing my right wrist with his right hand. It's a cross grab, okay? So it could be his left hand grabbing my left hand, but it's not going to be left hand grabbing my right hand because this technique wouldn't work out like this. So it has to be a cross. Now, the first thing that he does in this video, he does wrong. And it's not completely wrong. So we're always taught we place the hand over the top. And the reason behind this is we want to commit to the technique. If I give you a chance to let go, there's no technique. I have to keep your hand here. And that's correct. But what he does is once he starts bringing his hand over, he lets his hand slide over the top. And this is so bad because now I don't have any leverage. You can change the position of your hand. You can just let go or move away, and then start punching. So once I'm here, I really have to commit your hand. I have to press and hold on to it nice and tight. And this should make it already tighten up the lock. Even when I start bringing my hand over the top, it should feel a lot tighter now than if I just leave my hand nice and loose. Like you feel the difference here. Yeah. There's no, now you actually feel like something might start happening. So in the video, he grabs over the top, right? This is okay. This is how a lot of people learn this. Just placing your hand over the top is good. The thing that we want to keep in mind here is we want to have this little bone in the wrist and the elbow level. We want the forearm to be level here. If I'm down below, this isn't really going to give me the best leverage. I try to push down, you're not going to feel much of anything.
Yeah, and also, sorry, I can also.
Yeah, you can just push it and there it is.
I'm on top, so I have to force it.
So once we're here, even if I go up high too, right? If I try to push down here, you drop your elbow, he's rotating in, it's changing the pressure on his arm. So it's not gonna work, right? You feel that at all?
Yeah.
Nothing. So I have to keep your elbow and your wrist level, and that's with the hand here. And a lot of times people will just sink down right here to do it. And that keeps the body going nice and straight down here. It keeps the forearm going straight down. This is good, this is all right. However, what we can do to make this even better is bring your hand over the top. Now, depending on the grab, I guess the ideal would be that I can get more of my forearm or more of my hand like slicing over the top of your arm to do this. But if you're grabbing my wrist, I probably don't have a lot of space to do this, and I'm gonna be feeling it on the side of my hand right here on the palm, right? Yeah. But you feel it kind of digs in on the wrist here. Yeah. This is actually a good thing because it applies a little more pressure on the tendon that's running along here. So this is also good, but it could be better. My hand here, I need to still think of sinking straight down, but my hand should almost point with the fingers to the belly button. And then I want to think of, as I sink down, push forward towards that. So now it puts even more pressure on the arm as I sink down. It goes a lot faster, right? So this gives even more, right? But that's not how he did the technique. He continued to bring his elbow up over the top. So if I'm gonna focus on the elbow, I can rely on still grabbing here. Now, I don't like putting the elbow on top. It does work, right? But you have a much better position. You can probably still get your hand away from here, right? Can you pull your hand away? Yeah. And one of the most common things that happens once people start doing anything like this, they try to rotate the arm up and over, is that you're gonna bend your elbow. Like, it's the most common thing. Even if I get it upward here, he's gonna bend his elbow, and then now there's no joint lock. So
and you have no chance
I have nothing.
To pull here.
No. For the elbow to actually do anything, I have to have your arm totally straight, and it just makes no sense. The last thing is, it's parallel lines. So my arm trying to go on top of your arm, it's gonna slip off on either side. It's the hardest way of doing it. So if you want to have that extension, you're going to have to change it over into a grab, and then you have perpendicular lines, and now you have pressure. But again, I still want to use this elbow. What I find that works better than that is that once we're here, you want to actually roll it over with your elbow. So now I'm trying to still keep his arm extended. This is still helping right here. But I'm gonna take my arm, kind of like a chicken wing,
yeah.
and I'm gonna really pinch in on my side here. This is gonna put more pressure on the upper arm as I do this. It does have a little bit of, sometimes you can get a little bit of pain out of that, but this also really locks it into place.
Yeah,
now I have pressure, counter pressure, and then I wanna assist with my other hand, because still, even from here, if you're strong enough, try to pull this hand down, you can probably still do it.
Yeah.
So once we get over to here, I wanna get my hand underneath. So at least you have nowhere to go with that one. I squeeze in nice and tight, and then I have to think of a little bit of not only just sinking straight down, but a little bit of it, like I wanna tilt a little bit into it. So pinch at the rib, pinch with the arm, tilt and sink at the same time. So, and it's not a slow process. Typically, once the hand is here, you can commit to come over this way fast, pinch in tight, and then right here. Okay, so it makes it a lot more secure. If I try to go that fast and I try to put my elbow on top, I have to really think about how to do this. Now, actually, I didn't even think about this. In this position, right? You still look at the angle of your arm. I can't get this elbow up on top from here, so I really don't have the advantage. Only when I can get this over and wrap this over, I roll your shoulder into it, I take the slack out, this is much stronger. But if I'm just trying to push on your elbow, it's very tough because my elbow is pushing this way instead of pushing straight down, which would make that technique correct and strong. So there's like, if we just go back to his base, soft here on the hand, coming up this way, and then using the elbow, it's totally, he could get out of it in so many ways. So just securing here or getting this hand under, getting the elbow over, pinching here, and then tilting and sinking at the same time really locks that up, right?
Yeah, and there's a couple of things I noticed that maybe we see that the guy doesn't have like traditional martial arts background, because I think in Cholifat, as also in Hungar, it's always with body support.
Yeah.
So do that again, what he does.
Oh, sure.
So you see now there's no body support of yours.
Yeah.
That can easily just go this way.
Exactly.
And if you have it under your armpit, there's your whole body pressing downwards. And here I'm working against your whole body.
And I still have that.
That's impossible for just my arm.
Yeah. 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 100%. Yeah. Like it. Now you guys know. Now we know. You can make this technique much better. Okay. So we finished it up. Now you have no reason to do it wrong. All right, so that's it for this technique. If you have a technique that you want to see if it's legitimate or not, send us a message, link us to that technique, and we'll take a look at it and let you know if it's correct or if it can be done better. And for more Kung Fu tips like this, be sure to subscribe.